LeetCode Problem number 5, longest palindromic substring. So this problem is very straightforward. We are given a string called S, and we have to return the longest palindromic substring. So a palindrome means that, like if you look at this example, a palindrome would mean the left and right are the same, right? For example, BAB, or it could be, let's say, race car, right? So if you look from the left and right, they are the same. CAR and CAR. Right. So race car is also one of a palindrome, and a substring is basically a cut of a string. So the way I did it, first of all, there's an edge case which I tested. If the size is equals to 1, meaning there's only one character in the string, I'll just straight up return the string itself, right? Remember, the character itself can be a substring, so that's why we have it here. Here I have the start and length. So this is what I'll be using to return the substring. So I'm just going to call the substring function built into the string function of the C++. So here we have the start and the length. So the way we get the start and length is from this for loop. This for loop will iterate through every character in the string. And then here you can see there's two find functions. So these two find functions are actually finding the palindromes. This one will find it with this one would treat it as a odd number palindrome, or the second one would be treated as a even number palindrome. Right. So I'll explain more about it in a bit. So if you look here in the find function, the I and I plus 1 is basically the I and j's, right? So there are 2 pointers. So the way I check for a palindrome is as long as the I and j values fall within the string and they are the same characters, I will spread the pointers out. Right? So for example, let's say we have race car, CAR. So in this case, I and j for this find will start at E. It will start at E, and then I will move to the left, J will move to the right. So IJ, 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 right? That's for the first find. For the second find, it's more for cases like, let's say we have A, B, B, C, where if we were to run the same IJ here, we cannot find any palindromes, right? Because there are no palindromes in a even length characters. So that's why we have J as I plus 1. Now we have something like this, right? And this itself is technically a palindrome. It's to be, because the left and right of the strings are the same. Okay, so that's what this while loop is for. Basically, it will move until we hit a character that is not a substring. This if statement right here will check the length of the substring that we have found, whether or not the current length of the substring is longer than the recorded length, right? If it is, I'll update the start value and update the length as well for the substring function to take it. For example, let's say we have B, A, B, A, D again. Now for this case, at first glance we know the substring is going to be a odd number, so it's going to be here. So I and j will move in the opposite directions. So I will be here, j will be here, and when I falls out of bound, right, there's no character here, like so, I is now less than 0. So it will break this while loop, and now we'll enter the if statement. Right. So this if statement right here will check the current length. So if we count, the length right now is, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3, right? 3 minus Okay, since I is out of bound, this is a -1, -1. This will give us 4 minus 1, which is a length of 3. So 3 is more than, our current length is 0, right, for example, let's say. So the start will be updated. So start will now be I plus 1. So -1 plus 1, we get 0. And the length, it will be basically 3. So when we substring it, we substring everything, it will be starting at start 0. So let me get it back. So when we substring everything, we will start at index 0, right? So over here, of the length of 3, right? So this 3 character. So this is the longest palindromic substring within the string BABAD. Right. That's basically it. That's how the function works. That's how my solution works. Hopefully it's straightforward enough, easy to understand. That's all I have to show.